Hello, my book friends. Welcome to the gloomiest day that ever dayed, and welcome to me in my Snuggie that I probably won't be taking off today. And we're gonna do a 24-hour readathon. Got some books I need to finish, and the motivation has not been here this week. I did finish 2 books earlier this week, so let's go ahead and talk about that because that at least makes me feel like I've been successful. I finished Shady Hollow, which if you did not watch my mid-year freakout tag, that's my most disappointing book of the year. I was so disappointed in it, but I had to finish it for book club, so I did. I also listened to The Soulmate Equation while I was working on my diamond painting art thing. Yesterday was also a really fun day because I went to my local bookstore, Lemuria, and there was a signing and a reading by Harrison Scott Key, who is the author of The World's Largest Man, but it was for his new book called How to Stay Married, the Most Insane Love Story Ever Told, which is a nonfiction memoir about his wife's infidelity and the reconciliation of their marriage, which sounds like a really heavy topic, and yeah, it is, but he writes with a lot of humor, and so I'm excited to read that. So the first one is Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is where I am. This is page 221. I have not picked up this book this week. I need to because I'm in the middle of too many books right now. It reads so fast, so I should be able to finish this. This is the one I'm going to start with. And then, Air of Fire. I've been reading this book for like 3 weeks, and I haven't been meaning to. It just is the way it's worked out. And I'm on page 245. I don't know that I'll finish it, but I really want to. 2 fantasies. Can I do that? Is that allowed? It's going to be allowed. So it is 1:30 on Sunday afternoon, which means I get to read until 1:30 on Monday afternoon. It has been rainy and gloomy and stormy pretty much all week. I lost power 2 nights ago. So the other thing that I'm going to be doing during this video is obviously checking in and telling you about, pages and stuff, but also you're going to get some fun facts about me throughout the video. So fun fact number 1 is, I didn't plan these out, I can touch my tongue to my nose. Isn't that fun? Okay, I'm gonna go read now. In a turn of events that nobody should be shocked by, I've already fallen asleep. So I read for 1 straight hour, recorded how many pages I read that hour, and then I fell asleep. So here's another fun fact about me is I sleep a lot and I fall asleep a lot. In the spirit of me falling asleep, I'm about to make an iced coffee. The coffee says it's expired, but it smells fine. So we got some ice. We've got some coffee. If this is actually expired and you don't hear from me for a while, know that this was the cause and that I died happy. And then I found this at the store. It's cinnamon churro coffee creamer. It is delicious. It tastes okay. Let's go read some more. Right before I jump back into reading, it occurred to me that I never told you guys what Tress of the Emerald Sea is about. I've talked about it in another video, but not this one. So I'm sorry I don't have the dust jacket on right now because I'm reading and I don't read with the dust jacket. I'm still got my Snuggie, by the way. It's like my comfort item. So Tress of the Emerald Sea is about our heroine, Tress, and she lives at this place called The Rock, which is an island that is essentially a rock in the middle of the sea. And in this world, the sea is not made of water. It's made of spores that fall from one of the 12 moons in their world, and depending on which moon the spores are falling from determines the colors and the behaviors of those spores. So the spores are really dangerous, and if they interact with water, some will sprout vines, some will sprout spikes, and they'll just like take over. So everybody is really afraid of the spores, and nobody from Tress's Island is supposed to leave. She's pretty happy with this, so she is just content to let like the sailors go sailing and the merchants go out, and they always bring her back cups, and she has this collection of cups, and she loves to read, and she has this really cute like budding love relationship with the Duke's son, Charlie. Well, the Duke is not happy with this, and so he and Charlie set off on a voyage to find Charlie a wife so that he does not marry Tress. And this is the one thing in life that could have spurred Tress to want to leave the island, and she finds a way to do so to save Charlie from impending doomed marriage, and things ensue from there. It's very piratey, but at the same time, it's very cozy. There is a talking mouse. The crew members on the ship are just delightful, and they all have very distinct personalities. You get to know several of them, and then the other like members of the crew collectively act as like one giant character, and it's really wholesome. Brandon Sanderson did use the word ass in this book. But I'm having a great time. Sometimes all of the like spore discussion gets a little bit too sciencey for me, so I find myself skimming over those parts. But as far as like Tress and the little talking rat and her love story and the plan of action and the character development Tress has had in this book, I'm really enjoying it. I only have that much left right here. It's less than 100 pages. Yeah, it's like I have like 90 pages left. So within this hour or the following hour, I should finish, so long as I can stay awake, because that is the problem today, is staying awake. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I slept a long time. I went to sleep at like midnight, woke up at 8, went to Kroger to buy the cat's cat food, came back, went back to sleep because it was just thundering and raining and it was perfect sleeping weather, and then didn't start reading until 1. So I have no excuse other than my body is just like, I'm done. My eye is also super irritated. I'm not even sure that the camera's gonna pick up on it, but it is like bloodshot and it hurts. So I don't know if that's allergies. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna finish this book and we're gonna read another book and we're gonna keep reading for 24 hours. Let's go. I also wanted to mention in Tress of the Emerald Sea, one of the crew members is deaf, which I've read many contemporary books with a deaf character, but unless I'm forgetting something, this is the first fantasy I have read with a deaf character, and I love reading how that works in this world. So there's a piece of technology that's been created for this character so that he can communicate and be communicated with. And so fact number 3 is that my father is deaf, and we were not a family that grew up with sign language, and so my dad reads lips, and I just find like deaf culture fascinating, and I'm very empathetic towards the deaf community. So that made me really happy to see in here. Brandon Sanderson mentioned at the beginning in his opening acknowledgments that he did have a sensitivity reader that was a member of the deaf community, and I'm grateful to read that as well, because if you're not writing in your own voice, I think it's important to have feedback from the community you're writing about before you publish a book. So go Sanderson. It is 6:19 and I just finished Tress of the Emerald Sea. I'm not reading at a super fast pace, but you know what? That's okay, because my goal here is to finish books I've already started, not read like 2 entirely new books. And Tress was so much fun. I will say the middle got a little bit slow and sciencey, and I was talking earlier about how like all of the spore stuff was really easy to get lost in, but the end was so good. Some stuff that I was not expecting to happen happened, and I'm giving it 4 stars. Just the pacing and the sciencey stuff was not all for me, but the rest of it was definitely for me. So let me know if you've read Tress, because I really, really enjoyed this. I am about to go and get a giant gas station Coke, Diet Coke. I call all soft drinks Coke because I'm from the South. But anyway, I'm gonna go get a giant gas station Diet Coke and then come back and make some dinner. And then after dinner, maybe watch a YouTube video while I eat. We will commence with reading Heir of Fire. I'm planning on staying up pretty late, as long as I don't fall asleep. So we should get some more good reading time in. Here's the next fun fact. I have struggled with several different illnesses during my life. So I have ulcerative colitis, although I have been in remission since 2014. So I have not been dealing with like an active flare in a long time. I had a double pulmonary embolism during my last ulcerative colitis flare-up, which is a blood clot in each lung. It's from birth control. So I'm a big advocate of like just being very careful if that ever is prescribed to you. Also had shingles last year. So it's just been a whirlwind, and then COVID in February. So I'm a member of the chronic illness club. I've been wearing my sweatpants backwards all day and just realized it, and I went to Kroger like this morning. I've got the deer sausage cooking in the air fryer just to get crisped up because it's already cooked. And then got our veggies just simmering, stewing over here. I love a summer squash, love it so much. We took a nice little dinner gas station drink break, but it is 8:30 and it is time to start reading Heir of Fire. Remember, I'm on page 245. I was really enjoying this book before I had to put it down for a readathon, and then I just haven't picked it back up yet. So my thoughts are Selena is annoying and I love Manon. And Abraxas. I love him so much. But I'm really excited to dive back into this and see where those storylines and all the other ones are going. It also just started raining and like low stakes thundering. It's just kind of like a constant rumble, and it is perfect reading weather. So let's get into Heir of Fire. Pausing for a shower break and a Zelda break. But I think it's time for another fun fact. So I grew up a horse girl, and I had a horse, and his name was Ben, and he came with that name, and we competed in hunter jumper competitions. And I also worked at a ranch when I was 20, and I helped take care of our herd of 52 horses. And my favorite horse there was a 6-year-old quarter horse named Ruger, and I loved riding in the snow. And we would take them in the lake, and I did everything there, like rodeo, jumping. I did a lot of bareback jumping because it was just a lot easier. We swam with the horses. We did cross country. I just made it to almost page 300 during that last hour, and I think we're gonna shower, like I just said, and then relocate to the bed and read as long as I can until I fall asleep, and then we still got till 1:30 tomorrow. I'm optimistic. It's like almost 9 o'clock. I fell asleep almost instantly after starting reading last night. Is anybody surprised? Because I'm sure not. So yesterday I made it to page 313 of Heir of Fire. I have like 250 pages left. I have until 1:30 to read. I think we can finish it if I just don't get distracted. It's time for another fun fact. So I have been doing theater since I was 13 years old. I will not tell you how many years that's been, but some of my favorite roles that I've ever played have been Vera Claythorne and Then There Were None, Agatha Christie, it was like a dream role, Gloria Hawkins in Boeing, and Corey Bratter in Barefoot in the Park. All three of those shows were just absolute treasures, and I will never get over the fact that I got to be in those shows. We have relocated to the living room. I am back in my Snuggie. I made a snack because I was falling asleep again. By falling asleep, I mean I did fall asleep again. And I'm now on page 365, and it is 11 o'clock. I have 2.5 hours. Can I do it? I don't know. Ah! Well, it's been a lazy 24 hours. Thank y'all for sticking with me in my, like, I'm not going to get ready bun on top of my head state. So it's 1:30 and I made it to page 503. which I will do the math later because I read a whole lot, but I did not finish that book. But I'm going to do a final check-in because it's going to take me like maybe 30 minutes to finish the book. And then we'll chat about thoughts, wrap-ups, all that stuff. It's so good. Air of Fire is so much better than the first 2 books. All right, it's now 2:30 and I have officially finished my second book. So I guess technically this was a 25-hour readathon, but you know, we got the mission accomplished. So what I really wanted to set out and do during this readathon was to condense my currently reading because I had too many books on that list. So I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea and I finished Air of Fire, and now there is only 1 book on my currently reading shelf, which has not happened in a long time and is going to change very, very soon. But let's talk Tress of the Emerald Sea. I loved it. I thought it was cute, quirky, whimsical. There were several twists thrown my way that I just did not see coming and that I thought were really, really fun. I ended up giving it 4 stars because of a little bit too much science-y spore stuff, but it was still a really fun, charming book, and I would recommend it to pretty much anybody that likes fantasy. Air of Fire, this is the first in the Throne of Glass series that I am giving a 5 stars to. Her writing is so much better in this book than it was in the first 2 books. If you've been around for a while, you may have heard me say that I DNF'd Throne of Glass twice before I finally stuck with it because I could not get over how cringy the writing was. It just felt like the days that you read stories on Fiction Press if you were around then, early 2000s. The writing here, the exploration of the different points of views, Manon, Abraxos, some of the absolute trauma that some of our characters went through. I have no idea where this series is going to go, but I am 100% invested and here for it now. I've got to go so I can edit this video and get it up for you guys for tomorrow, but I hope you enjoyed this kind of very laid back, lazy 2 days with me. Make sure that you like and comment and subscribe and all the YouTube-y things. I have my social media linked down below as I always do, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!